Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Play on GAA. And also from this weekend, we're going to look at the Clare Limerick game, which finished up 18 points apiece. So, another game gone. Limerick still yet to be off the mark with a win in 2022. And look, this was a game, kind of scrappy enough game where low score, a lot of drama, yellow cards, red cards, both players and management as well. Yeah, look, I think a game that Limerick would be glad to kind of get their first result, I suppose, of the year. Obviously, they'll be disappointed to not get the first win yet, but look, it's a bit better. It's shown a bit more improvement, but yeah, still we have to acknowledge that they're yet to get off the mark just yet, and things just don't still look as fully fluid as last year. They're not hurling to the same level as they were last year, but like starting to get players back in, and look, I think hopefully from Limerick perspective that they're going to continue to improve as the year goes on. The closer we get to the championship, the more their skills will start to improve, I'm sure. And yeah, look, you're starting to see as well there the entire half forward line finally played together for the first time. Galan was back, albeit sent off in the end. And then look, Will O'Donoghue was back in as well. So they're starting to get the pieces back together. Just can they improve the hurling? I think is the big question. And yeah, look, I think from the weekend they were kind of under pressure a fair bit. They went in 11-9 up at half time, albeit not playing too well. And yeah, I suppose towards the end of the game, probably fortunate enough to get out of there with a draw in the end. They were 18-17 down going into extra time. Six minutes added on as well in the end, but a lot of drama in that period. They'd recently just lost Aaron Gallant to a strike there as well, and then Jack Brown was sent off as well for Clare, and then ultimately from that free, where Jack Brown received his second yellow, that's when the equaliser came. And look, we saw kind of the last couple of minutes were scrappy enough. Wides, Tony Kelly had a uncharacteristic wide to win it for the Clare in the end. So yeah, look, I think Limerick they'd be delighted to get out of there with a point, kind of, I suppose, because it's easy again they could have lost. I suppose just to briefly touch on as well, the Aaron Gallant red cards kind of gathered a little bit of debate online. I don't think you can have too many complaints really. I know that the referee gave it as a second yellow. I think look, there was argument that he was being held by Conor Cleary as the ball came in, which he certainly was. But I think when he initially made a striking action to kind of get him off, which look I think is okay. But the fact that he lifted the hurl the second time to strike kind of at helmet height, I don't think he can have much complaints. Jack Brown as well. Look, two yellows, absolutely fair enough I think as well. So look, yeah, I think the referee was kind of getting there was a bit of debate kind of if he was a bit kind of stop starting to it there as well. But look, I don't think they can have any complaints about either red card. But yeah, going towards Clare now for a second. It's been an interesting league I think for Clare. They've been fairly disrupted, and look, but there's no doubt about it. Since Tony Kelly came back in, things have started to improve for them a bit. But yeah, just looking at their team here as well, they've an awful lot to come back into as well. They'll have Mark Rogers to come back in. Shanahan didn't play at the weekend at all. I know he's named on the panel, but he wasn't in there. Shane O'Donnell is still around on the squad. Peter Duggan only got about 10 minutes at the end there as well. So yeah, look, there's plenty of complimentary pieces to come back in. Dermot Ryan was a late cry off, I suppose, from the game. I think he picked up a knock as well before it. So that's the thing with Clare. They'll be very happy to get a result here because look, they were looking at that Limerick team, very very strong Limerick team, pretty close to full 15, maybe barring a few kind of young players that were given a shot. So I think Clare have a lot more to come back in than Limerick right now. So the fact that they can get a result there is promising signs for Logan. They've certainly improved as the league has gone on as well. He'll be a little bit concerned about the wides, I think, though, as well. It was that there was an awful lot of missed chances, and look, that game was there to be won for them at the end. But I suppose, though, as well, like from a defensive perspective, the two centre partnership kind of he moved John Collin back into centre half back, looked really really good. Keane Lynch didn't score. Conor Cleary played very very well. Paul Flanagan in the corner, huge game as well. So yeah, look, I think once if they can sort that piece out of it as well, Clare are going to be a team they're going to continue to improve as the weeks go on in the league. So yeah, look, I think he'll be happy enough with that. They're going in the right direction. From a Limerick perspective, look, they've got their first points of the league now. Bit of positivity, like, albeit, look, they want to be winning these games, but it's going back towards the right direction. And look, they'll get to finish the league on a high, I'd imagine, when they play Offaly in the last game of the league next week. So yeah, look, I don't think anyone really expects Offaly to pull off a shock there. So I think, look, Limerick, they can take a bit of optimism from this a slightly better performance, albeit that they're still not as fluid as what they have been in previous years and like last year in particular. But look, they got a ground out of results and they have a chance to go in against Offaly, lay down a statement and put a bit of optimism going into the championship then. So anyway, that's our review of the Clare Limerick game anyway for this weekend. 18 points apiece, scrappy enough game. But look, both sides will be happy enough to take the draw, I'd imagine. And look, they'll take a lot of optimism from the result, and we'll hope that